got to be a better way. But at any rate, welcome to the call. Can I do open up another tablet and then from there go to Facebook Live? And we came early to do this too. Isn't that something? So it's a little difficulty with technology. We'll get this right. It's about self-confidence this week. It's all about self-confidence. And so far, you there, Anthony?
Yeah.
The other option would be just to go live on Facebook. Give me 1 second.
But then no one can interact.
Well, we have this going on here. Oh, it will have to go through the Zoom thing for people to interact. Well. Isn't this something? I will leave here.
There you go. Are you there, my man?
I am, but we're having some difficulties here trying to go live on Facebook.
I mean, if you are you going to go live by yourself on Facebook? Is that what you're going to do?
Well, otherwise we're missing the crowd, and then people will not see the consistency of it.
I mean, okay.
Just give me a
If
second.
you do that, then it will be impossible for me to add it in even if it starts working later.
Well, it's either one or the other. My computer's just taking way too long. I don't know what the hell is going on. Sorry, Andrea, we're having difficulties here.
Well, it's okay. I'm there. Do what you have to do, my man.
Yes, sir.
Well, if you're going to go live, then I'll stop trying. But I mean, so we're just going to wait until you go live then?
Give me 1 second, because now my computer is taking forever. So I'm not even able to go live on Facebook. Everything's taking forever, bro.
But Matt and his gang, it doesn't come.
No, the other way was there's a phone number there where people would have been able to call. Again, man, my bad.
Okay.
Just sit tight for a minute. The computer taking forever.
Yep. Yep.
Hello, guys.
Hey, how are you,
Hey.
man?
Good. I sent him off notice that we were having our meeting tonight. I haven't heard back from him, the guy that's supposed to be the guest speaker tonight. So we'll just kind of wait and see if he shows up.
All right. All right.
All right, all right.
We're having difficulties.
What kind of difficulties?
Hello? We're having difficulties going live on Facebook. We're going to do it over 3 different ways. With your phone.
Oh, it's not going live?
No. And I can't go live on my phone. Why is it? Go live. Here we go. There it is. Yes, I'm live. I'm going to go live on Facebook. And then I'm alone there. Oh my God. Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Mastermind call. So we're having some difficulties there today. Trying to get into the live Zoom and on Facebook. Matt, Anthony, I'm live on Facebook.
Yes, you are.
All right. Well, if you speak loud, Matt, maybe they can hear you through my phone. We're just having a little difficulties today to get rock and roll in this evening of May 2019. Welcome to the call. Our goal here at the Laws of Success in 16 Lessons is all about Napoleon Hill and the law of success. Tonight, it's about self-confidence. We did a post there where you can call a number, and in this way, you can participate on the call. Sorry that the Zoom was not working correctly. Good evening, folks. My name is Hugo De La Torre, and I'm calling here from sunny South Florida. Would you like to introduce yourself before we get rock and rolling?
Yes, my friend. My name is Andre Guérin. I'm calling from La Chute, Quebec, Canada. I'm very glad to be here.
And I'm Matt Castle. I'm calling from Michigan.
Very cool.
I'm Anthony Bassett, calling from Lansing, Michigan.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for being here. Matt, I don't know if you're there and you have your book in front of you, so that I may know. And then I'll just rumble on for a minute. Welcome to the Mastermind call. Again, our goal here is first for us to become better communicators. On the chapter on self-confidence, you see that one of the greatest fears that people have is to public speak. So here you have a chance where you can come and speak your mind, share your ideas and goals with us. And yes, the goal would be to go through the laws of success, 17 principles, one a week. You can see how it would take 2-3 months of your life to go through this. And the goal would be that every week, everybody in this page, the laws of success in 16 lessons, will go through each principle, test it out, and then come to calls like this and tell us what you thought about it, what piqued your interest. Did you test it out and did it work for you? And in this way, we all grow together as a team to prove what Napoleon Hill wrote many blue moons ago. So far, so good?
Very good, my friend.
Like to share a thought before we get going?
Well, no.
Well, we are on the 3rd week already since we have been starting this. We started fresh. So the first one was the Mastermind principle. When 2 or more people come together and they work in perfect harmony, that is where the so-called miracles happen. So thank you for being with us. Let's make some miracles happen. In there, we talked about what the earth is made out of, and we talked about the 17 principles. And then the second, or I should say the first lesson is adopting a definition of purpose, a chief aim in your life. So our hope is that by now you have written a statement as to what you desire most from life, but on the back of the paper also make a statement as to what you intend to give back in return for those riches. And because that's the starting point of all achievement, you have to have it in a piece of paper where you can see it twice a day, talk about it, eat with it, sleep with it. And that should be the dominating thought in your mind, that chief aim. And then once you have those 2 principles in hand, once you understand what this earth is made out of it, and that we're part of earth, and that by being part of Earth, we can get all at once needs and desires from life, as long as we don't interfere in the rights of our brother, man. Then the importance of having a definite purpose. You got to know what you want, because if you don't know what you want, your creator is less likely to help you. Amen, man. Love you, brother. And let's see if that works. One more time. Okay, so once you get those two principles in place, then you can come to a place where you can say, man, self-confidence has to play a role in this thing. And but if you're coming into this lesson or to learn about this laws of success with any form of skepticism, you might as well put the book aside and wait for another time to go through this. You know, they say when the student is ready, that's when the teacher appears. So it might not come on the first time, on the second time, on the third time. We'll be doing this for 3.5 years. Well, don't think you come in here and you're going to get this potion, and then all of a sudden we're going to become rich like that. No, that's not how life works. You have to. Wealth is through rendering of some kind of useful service. So the goal will be like, how are we going to render that service that's going to create the riches that we desire? So far, so good.
So good.
All right. So now we get into this chapter on self-confidence, and at the beginning again, skepticism is the enemy of progress. Matt, are you there with me?
I'm with you.
Okay, I'm just going to recap a little bit after where we got, and then we'll go from after the 6 basic fears, because we already talked about this week, and the book is pretty thick, so we're going to get as much information out of it. So surely there's no age for skepticism, because even in our lifetime we have discovered so many things that it stuns the generation that came before us, and that thought is the most organized energy known to man. And through auto-suggestion, the thing that you put into your mind, whether good or bad, it becomes. And fears, let's say the fear of poverty and failure, takes in thousands of different forms. So the first thing to develop self-confidence is that you got to get rid of them fears, and you better get rid of them real quick. And the 6 basic fears are, Matt, go ahead.
The fear of loss of someone. I'm trying to remember. I don't have my book.
The fear of poverty.
Fear of poverty. Yeah.
There you go. Tell me more. The fear of criticism. The fear of losing someone you love. The fear of old age. That's right. The fear of ill health and death. And come to find out that those fears come through either physical or social heredity. Those are the only 2 ways that thoughts are implanted in your head. Those things that came from our ancestors, our grandparents, those stories that they told us, or the color of your skin or the color of your eyes, those come through physical heredity. And then there's social heredity. And that's where those things are implanted in your head. The idea, it becomes as to, it comes a point in life when you have to say, you got to stand on your own belief, not what they told you. It has been said that through suggestion, you can implant in the mind of a young kid such an idea on religion and on anything, that after 13, they spend the rest of their life, that's what they believe. You're a Democrat or you're a Republican. Where'd you get that from? And then never once would you stand on your 2 feet and say, no, hold on a second. This is what I believe. As long as you're in close relation to your creator, there should be no reason why you have any of those fears. And we talked about that before. So I hope by now you have given an idea there. And then there were stories as to how Napoleon Hill put that on practice. You can go outside your house, if there's like a hen or a chicken or a small bird, and when a bird at conception, a couple of days after that, you can pick up that bird without any fears. But the moment that the mother comes in squeaking, thereafter, that small animal will always fear human man. So you can see how through heredity, you get implanted with fears that in reality are not true. And so there's a myriad of all kinds of forms of fears. And again, none is more deadly than this thing of poverty. and old age. Because what happens is it drives so many of us to work so freaking hard to hoard money for old age. And this form of fear drives us so hard that many people overwork their bodies and to avoid the same thing that they're doing, struggling. So what a tragedy it is to watch many people, at the age of 40, 50, when they're just starting to harness nature's laws, when you can go outside and say on the brooks, on the streams, on the stars and everything, like, man, I am part of this thing. And then instead of advancing, because most people don't find the greatest success until they reach 40 or 50, we have all kinds of conflicting desires. And again, instead of using organized effort like we're doing here tonight to attain our goals, we fill ourselves with such, forms of fears that it destroys our initiative. We use auto-suggestion. Instead of using it as a force that can help us achieve everything, we use it as a hindrance and not as help. So having said that, and again, please folks understand this, that when you're reading these laws of success, there's going to be points where there's going to be a statement, and that's where the idea comes in. But after that, it's just simple stories, and we're going to learn about America, and it's Napoleon Hill talking to us. So when you hear me talk, don't think this is Cuba's talking. It's really Napoleon Hill talking to us. So far, so good?
Real good.
Thank you, bro.
Yep.
And here's just a couple. Let me get a drink. Share it up for a second. All right, for instance, here's a man who comes into disappointment, and a friend proves him false. You ever had that when you had a good friend and then that thing did not work out, and then what happens is this: you go to your neighbor's house and you find problems with your neighbor. Then you go across the street and you find problems with your neighbor, and before you know it, there are actually people like that go through life deeply. With a conscious mind, with an attitude towards others that is not favorable. And for that reason, he's getting that results that he wants from life. He hasn't, you don't even want to go there. I'm sure you have one of those neighbors. But apply in a different way. Here's another man. And wherever he goes, he brings nothing but optimism and love and light. And he make it his business to make sure that he's friendly with others. And even when the neighbor cheats him, he still turns his cheeks and blesses that one. And through the law of attraction operating in that person, he draws to himself the attention of people who, with the attitude, is going to add to his life. The dominating thoughts that they have of his own. And that guy gets all he wants from life. And then you wonder why people get ahead and all this stuff. And trace it a little bit step further. There's this other guy, for instance, we're learning all these laws of success. And a lot of times we think like we know it all, we don't know it all, we are just learning some. But some may know more than others. And here comes a guy that he's pretty good, he's pretty talented, he got the right attitude, he's got the right, he has learned the thing. But when the time comes to be up on stage, he says, no, I'd rather stay in the background. Let others get credit. And that might be a humble and sincere thing. We heard that modesty is a great virtue. But what happens is the guy is pushing himself from the stage of life. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let that happen to you, because you're damaging the cause of effect. If what you're trying to do, if you achieve fame is in doing something, go out there and tell them that you are doing it. If you are rendering more service than you get paid for, opportunity comes at the back door. But does that mean that you can't confront your boss and say, look, I want you to be aware of what my intentions are. Yes, I'm rendering the service and I'm going the extra mile. I don't expect nothing in return, but I want you to understand that that's what I'm doing. And, here's another one. You know, there's other, because we are raised by poor parents, it should be a toll in life that thereafter we should remain poor, or that being poor is a virtue, or that being poor is a godly thing. You got to stop thinking that way. That is not true. The great thing, that the most God wants from you, is to make the best of yourself, and then show others how you went about doing. Because what happened is, if that's what the parents are implanting on the kid, that because I'm poor, you will be poor. Sooner or later, when the person comes to the stage of life where he should be having his greatest success, they quit. We become quitters, and then we accept that as our fate, and then even the body start to atrophy and die. And so it is with self-confidence. So thank you for being here tonight, because the goal of having self-confidence is that you need to keep talking about it. You got to have a chief aim, and you got to have a group of people behind you to help you have that self-confidence. Do share that. 921.
Yes, thank you, Igo. It's very nice what you said about parents. Many times you was born in a poor family, but it's not your fault, but it's probably your fault if you stay poor. And if you don't make effort or procrastination, you're gonna stay poor. You have to check a way to learn how to make your money work for you when you sleep. And it's for that the law of success. I think if we got a chief aim, if you want to go out of poverty, that's a good way to go out of the poverty. If we go on, if you got a mastermind and you go learn the law of success, something gonna happen in your brain, and you're gonna have self-confidence. You're gonna learn how to have self-confidence, and you're gonna go on the stage and take your place in life. So thank you very much. Here you go.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that thought. You know, one of the chief causes of inherited wealth is the fact that it leads to inaction, and inaction leads to the loss of self-confidence. That's why you see some people that win the lottery, and then with a few years, they lose their self-confidence. I mean, why should you do anything? You take that initiative away from somebody, and before you know it, they're losing monies. And again, folks, it's about storytelling. And Napoleon Hill, as he was doing this chapter on self-confidence, heard a story about a young boy that was, like a prince. He had servants, lived in a mansion, walls, fence walls everywhere. So for the first 10 years of his life, he never really went outside those boundaries because everything was taken care of for him. And what happened was this. At the age of 10 years old, there was a gate out the back of the mansion or the yard, and of course where the kids that are curious go to. They're gonna go right outside the door, and lo and behold, right outside the door was a road, a highway. You can guess what happened to the kid. The moral of the story is that if you have other eyes always taking care of what you should do, then you will never have enough initiative to go out there into your world and make the best of yourself. Don't do that. It is to struggle that we become successful. And you can see it in another story where might have gone to school, and you see other kids that are going to school and they don't work because their parents send them an amount of money so that they don't have to work. That might sound good because the kid should be in school studying and not need to work. But come to realize that those kids that have gone to school and work appreciate their college more than those that do not. I'm not comparing one from the other, but it is to struggle that you appreciate the things in life. Because in due time, those people that are, for instance, that the parents have a business and they just have to go to college, and afterward you're going to take over the business, you're doing a lot of harm to your kids because you're taking that initiative away from them. So far, so good.
Very good, my friend.
Now, not all rich men, sons end up that way. But inaction does lead to atrophy. Your body starts to decay and die. And far from being a disadvantage, a struggle is a decided advantage. Because it's when you're freaking struggling that you build the qualities that were lately dormant without it. Many men have found their best place where they were struggling so hard that they had their back against the wheel, and they say, this is what I need to do. I'm going to go. I got to burn the bridge. You better jump. You better have no way of retreat. That's the only way to success. Otherwise, you're kidding yourself. Or you should, forgive me, I should say, analyze people that have become successful and ask them that question. And they will all tell you that it was after the greatest failure that the greatest success happened. So you have to look at life in terms of that way. Bring it on. Or those that, created good money and they say, I have struggled so hard in my life, let my kids have it a little easier than I have. A little easier? What? A little easier? There's worse things than being forced to work. And you know what that is? To not have work. And to sit idle. Because the minute that anybody starts sitting idle, that's where those fears come in. See, not only does the lack of the necessity for struggle leads to weakness of ambition, but it's dangerous in that. Because the minute that you're taking care of somebody, they lose their self-confidence. To thyself be true. Don't your opinions or nothing of somebody else. Because the minute that you let somebody else take over, you quit struggling. And you start using the auto-suggestion as a detriment to your life. You can't do that. You find yourself in contempt of all kinds of different ideas that are forced upon you. Forgive me if I get emotional. Do share with that.
Well, that's true what you said, Hugo. In life, you have to take your responsibility. And if you don't take it, somebody gonna take it for you, Always be afraid of that. And when at my job, they give me more responsibility, I take it. And it helped me to grow, And it's very important to do that in life, to take your responsibility because somebody else gonna take it for you, and it's not funny when that kind of thing happens.
You got that right. We are all salespersons. No matter what you do in life, you always try to sell yourself to others. And one of the keys to being a salesperson is persistence. Persistence, persistence, persistence. So here's a little lesson on self-confidence. Here's a guy that went out to a sales force and was just starting out. And he went up to the manager and asked him for a position in the work as a commission basis. And everybody in that office just laughed. Who the hell is this new kid coming in here trying to impress on us something that he might not be worth of? But they said, at least try him out. So what they did is they sent him to a person that all the other salesperson had tried to sell something to it, and try him out there. But you see, this guy had a different way of thinking. And yes, he began to make his goals. And the first day, he actually closed 3 of those 12 people that were impossible to close. So he said, man, this thing is working. So I'm going to try a little harder. And that's when he got the number of the person that nobody else would sell to. And what happened was that he called every single day to talk to that person. And after 29 days of trying to reach that guy, or going through the gatekeeper, or however reason, he got to him. He got to him. And the reason why he got to him was because he would never hear the word no. He could not hear the word no. He didn't understand the word no. He just kept right on coming on. And yes, the thing was to get to the guy before the 30 days, and he got him on the 29th day because of the persistence that the guy had. It was a conscious that he eradicated in everybody that he, not eradicated, that he passed on to everyone he meet. So after 29 days of trying, he says, look here, young man, you know, you have been wasted a whole month trying to sell me the life insurance. Why have you wasted your time? And the answer to the replies was, wasted my time. What? You just told me 29 reasons as to what not to do. So can we do business? And that other guy says, you know what, I have a little admission on my part. You have also taught me a great lesson on persistence. And never will I hear the word no. I'm going to follow your path. Pretty cool story. Be persistent. Be persistent. Be persistent. Because a guy that did that became, in Philadelphia, one of the greatest millionaires in selling insurance. He succeeded because he put it in his own mind sufficient self-confidence to make that an irresistible force. You know, when he sat down and said, within 30 days I'm going to do this, there was something behind that that made it possible. You have to meet life in those ways. Every day you have to understand that the idea is to go through the river of life, not try to swim against it. A lot of people are so freaking crooked that they just want to go the easy path to life and success. Don't let that happen to you. Do share a path. You know me, I continue to ramble on. Here's a little thing for the woman, you know, when it comes to a woman and the love of a woman and a man, that should be one of the greatest mastermind. You know, a woman has the power to send a man out there into the world with such enthusiasm that the guy can have a win in life. So if you're a woman and you're hearing these things, remember that. You can make or break a man. And that's exactly what happened in Napoleon Hill's life with a stepmom came in, and his dad was just a simple farmer, and he took him from a blue collar shirt to a dentist, because he implanted in that guy such a thought that he became great. You have a significant other, or it's food for thought. That is true. Nobody can tell the possibilities of a man that's backed by the love of a woman, and it can show it in the effect of even a simple note that can inspire someone to greatest heights. And here I'm going to read a copy of a creed that a lady once wrote to her husband that has a tremendous psychology behind it. But please do share a thought. 9:34. You guys there with me?
I'm there with you, Ego. For sure.
We're here.
You know, let us go through that. Let us go through that. I believe in myself, and I believe in those who work with me. I believe in my employer, and I believe in my friends. I believe in my family, and I believe in my creator that will let me to have everything I want from life. I will succeed because I will do faithfully and I will do honest work. I also believe in prayer. I never close my eyes to sleep without praying to my divine guidance to tell me what I need to do tomorrow, and that I will be tolerant with those who I meet. I believe that success is a result of intelligent effort and does not depend on luck or sharp bargains or trying to double plus my friends. Fellow men are my employer. For the reason I have to believe that I will get only what I put into it. Therefore, I will be very careful with my contact, not only with myself, towards others, because that's how I want them to be towards me. And when I'm not going to slander none who I do not like. We're going to render the best service available, that we're capable, and we're going to pledge to ourselves to succeed in life. And because we know that success is always a result of conscious and efficient effort. And finally, let us forgive those who trespass against us, because forgiveness is a great thing. You know, you may need the cooperation of them at a later time. Sign that thing and make it your own statement. I'm going to get a drink and I'll be right back. Do share that. Don't leave me hanging.
I'm coming, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Persistence, love of yourself, and self-esteem. If you got, somebody who is backing you in life, is very touchable. It's gonna help you to pass many ways. Somebody who accept you like you are, with your character and all your stuff, and they believe in you, and they're gonna push you to finish what you start. Well, it's a big gift in life, and if you still got persistence, it's always help you to make good plan to achieve your goal. And if somebody push you in the back too, and they got good way to see you, to got a good life with her or with him, well, you're not a loser no more when you got that, and it's very important to got a mastermind around you to acquire the persistence to come 3 nights per week, to understand in which way of thinking you are, and which way of thinking you have to change. That's very good. So thank you very much, Hugo.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You know, we just read a creed, but if that creed did not pique your interest, make your own creed. Make your own creed. Make some kind of creed, something that you live by, something that you repeat to yourself over and over and over until it becomes part of your makeup. Because by doing so, you're using the law of auto-suggestion as a means of self-suggestion to yourself. And never mind what anybody else says. Don't worry about that. Just remember that it's your business in life to succeed. And it will go a long way towards helping you. You know, we learn on lesson 1 that any idea that we put into that little subconscious mind of us, if you repeat an affirmation, what happens is that it automatically becomes part of a blueprint. And that gives us an unseen power that direct all of our efforts towards the attainment of that object, or that plan. And we also learn that through auto-suggestion, it just means self-suggestion, suggestion that you give in your own mind. And this is a good thing, because what happens is this, I don't care what riches or what constitutes riches, but nothing can bring you peace by thyself. You can't make anybody else happy unless you're happy. And nobody's going to make anybody else happy until they're happy. Nothing can bring us peace by ourselves. Of course, we're going to need the cooperation of other people to attain success if we're going to go far in life. But at the end of the day, cooperation is only by vitalizing your mind with a positive mental attitude and self-confidence that it can be done. Perhaps we wonder why so many people advance in life what others lack. And if you study them, you will find one reason as to why they advance, while others just sit idle. And it'll be obvious to you that the one reason why those advance is because they believe in themselves. And you believe that, and not only did they believe in themselves, but in back of that belief, they have a dynamic personality. They had an aggressive action, I mean, analyze those that are successful. They might be still working at 9 o'clock at night until they make that purpose. Then they can go and do whatever the hell they want to do whenever they want to do it. In the meantime, it is the struggle and hard work and self-confidence that they got where they were. And then you see those that are not successful, and you can tell it by the by the look in their face, by the posture of their body, by the lack of their brickness, by the way they step. Analyze a successful person. You see they have a little step behind their wall. There's something about them that makes them different. No one's going to pay attention to a person that doesn't have self-confidence. You better have self-confidence, because the person that does not is not attracting the minds of others. Instead of attracting, he's repelling them. Like the story of the guy that's unfriendly to his neighbors. In no other field of endeavor is self-confidence, or the lack of it, plays such an important role as a salesperson. And I don't care what we're doing in life, we are always trying to help ourselves to others. And if we do not develop that character, that determination, the moment somebody meets you, they know right away whether you have their confidence or not. And the minute that they feel like you don't have their confidence, they start stepping all over you. You need to inspire others to have confidence in you so that they buy your goods the moment that sales needs to be made. 9:42. Let me go get a drink, and then we'll talk about a little self-confidence formula and the formula will roll for us. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Mr. Matt, are you there?
Yes, I am here. So I like what Hugo says about self-confidence, and I think that you can generate a lot of energy through your self-confidence the more self-confident that you are. When you're down in the dumps, you really don't have a lot of energy in your countenance. So it requires you to kind of perk yourself up to sometimes get out of a rut, because everybody, gets that feeling. But when you look at the perfect person that has self-confidence, they have a certain glow about them and their energy is on fire. So it certainly makes a difference when you have self-confidence. Now, everybody's got fears, but I guess for me, I look to my faith. And when I look to my faith, my fears almost seem to dispel. So it's nice to have that background, and it helps build confidence in my future state. So, yeah, thanks, Hugo, for quarterbacking tonight.
Yes, sir. And I truly appreciate what you said, Matt. And yeah, self-confidence. When you got that, you got some glow over you. Yeah, big aura. Huh? But it's possible to build that by going small step at the time, And that's what we learn here. Just coming here tonight, three week a night. That's self-confidence. We take time to change something in us mind, because it's always the same energy, huh? To be positive or negative, or to do a shitty job or do a job you love, it's the same energy you're gonna take to do it. And it's the same energy if you fall in love with somebody who's gonna help you, or fall in love with somebody who's gonna put you down. So yeah, it's always the same energy. We're gonna give you self-confidence by small victory on some fear, with your faith, with your hope, and all that stuff. And for succeeding in life, you have to start to understand You are a victory each day when you get up and you got a good health, a good minding, and you try to do your best each day. So thank you very much, Matt. And Hugo, you make a good quarterback for sure tonight.
Thank you, Bossman. All right. Here's a little self-confidence as we leave the call. 9:46. On Sunday, we're going to talk about the power of habit. The power of habit on self-confidence. The goal will be to read up on it and then come over here and share your ideas as to the power of habits. Any other thoughts and ideas before we leave? All right. First, we know that we have the ability to achieve the object of our definition of purpose. Therefore, we're going to demand of ourselves persistence. Let me say that word again. Persistent, aggressive, and continuous actions towards the attainment of our goals in life. Can we agree on that? We also realize that the dominating thought of our mind eventually is going to reproduce into an outward bodily action. And what happens is gradually it's going to transform themselves into the physical reality. Therefore, we got to concentrate our mind for 30 minutes every day. Don't forget that. Upon the task at hand, and think about the person you want to be. And create a picture in your mind of that person that you want to transform yourself to be. And little by little, you get rid of all those fears, and through practice, they become a reality. So far, so good. We also understand that through auto suggestion, the desire that we put in our mind eventually is going to seek expression through some form of practical means of realizing it. Therefore, now we're going to take another 10 minutes to demand of ourselves to develop that through reading this course. All you need to do is read 3 to 4 pages a night. And if we don't have 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day to go through these laws of success and to implement them in our future for our future success, you're just paying it forward. Fourth, we have a clear mapped out in a reading statement and a description as to your definition of purpose. Where we're going to be 5 years hence. And then set a price on that service. Very important. Of where you're going to be doing 5 years hence. Put a price on it. What do you want to earn? What do you want to receive? Into the it's a very strict application. You have to make it strict as to how are you going to render the service to get that which you want. And fifth, we have to understand and realize that no wealth or position will be endured unless it's built upon truth and justice. Therefore, we're not going to engage in any transaction that does not benefit all whom it affects. See, we're going to succeed in life because we're going to attract to ourselves the forces that we wish to use and the cooperation of other people. And for this reason, we have to induce others to serve us, because first we have to serve them. And then we got to eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and this thing called cynicism by developing love for humanity. Because we know and we understand today negative mental attitude towards others is not going to bring us success. It will cause others to believe in us, or I should say, let us cause others to believe in us, because we will be willing to believe in them and in thyself. And for this reason, this should become part of our will. So sign your name to that formula and commit it to your memory and repeat it over and over and over until it becomes gradually part of life. And that success is right around the corner with a happier worker in whatever chosen field you want. But before you sign that and put your name on it, make sure that you intend to carry out that instruction. Because what happens is in back of the formula that I just read to you, and if you don't have it, go get the book or find it somewhere. It's public domain. There's a law behind it. There's a formula. There's a law behind it. There's a psychology behind it, and it's called autosuggestion. You just let it go at that. But don't forget that the stuff works. It works. It works and it works. And another point to keep in mind, just as this light that we have here, you can just shut it off like that. So it is with that little thing that you have in your mind. Millions of people use electricity for at night. And so this principle of autosuggestion can lead you to a mountain of peace and prosperity. Or if you touch that cable the wrong way, heck, you're gonna get killed. Or it will take you down to the valley of misery and poverty, according to how you apply it. But if you fill your mind with a belief that it can be done, oh man, there's this spirit of that sets up in your subconscious mind, and that slowly it starts doing everything that you want from life. So fill yourself, fill your mind with that radiance of self-confidence. Use the auto-suggestion to take your beliefs to the next step. Make that the dominating thoughts of your life, so that it will help you master not only your fears, but all the obstacles that come along the way as you reach your mountaintop of success. And our hope is that we all reach the mountaintop out there. So when we look down upon the valley of life and see all those people that have failed, we can at least go back and say that, you know what, Matt, Andre, Anthony, at the least we gave it our best try. Mi nombre es Hugo de la Torre, Matt Castle, Andre Guren, and Anthony Bassett, and we're here to help you. Please reach out to anybody if you pick your interest. On the Loss of Success, we have close to 2,000 likes. Very close. Another stepping stone. I should say this. Matt, you ready for this one? And back me up on this, please. We become the dominative thoughts of today is where we're going to be 5 years hence. So let me ask you this question, Matt. Do you know when you started this Loss of Success in 16 Lessons, Napoleon Hill?
I knew I wanted to honor Napoleon Hill and that I wanted to spread his message. I didn't know I was going to meet you and Andre and have such good friends. So, of course, Anthony's always been there, but I'm glad that we're all together now.
I'm saying the specific date when you started this page.
No, I didn't think it'd be where it's at now.
No. The question is, do you know what date it was when you started this page?
5 years ago today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today, buddy. Today is the day. I love you, Matt. Seriously. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Bro. Today is the day.
Nice.
You know, today's the day. So it might be a couple of weeks short, but today is the day, buddy. Thank you.
So happy birthdays.
Thank you.
We're 5 years old tonight.
Yep. And and time is running fast, but we learn a lot and we never give up. So it's good to be here. It's good to be here. Because I think in 5 more years, we're gonna realize many things, and we're gonna succeed in many things over us expectation. And that's I'm a big believer.
Thank you, Andre. Well, you know what, Matt? Step up to the plate, buddy. This is about Matt tonight. You started this seriously, but you have to share a thought as we leave the call, and then say a prayer for us, please.
So thank you to everybody that came to the call tonight. I don't know who can hear me. I think I'm on a speakerphone and I'm being transferred to Facebook Live, but self-confidence is something that is important for everybody to develop. And take a look at yourself and look at the fears that plague every man, the 6 basic fears of mankind, or there's 7, the 7th being the fear of loss of freedom. And apply those in your life and see how it can hold you back in some areas. And also try to expand your mind to think outside of being limited by those areas. And it will broaden your scopes and your horizons, and it'll make you a more complete individual. So with that, I'll leave you with the prayer. O divine providence, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to use the riches you gave me at birth, consisting in the wisdom to control and direct my own mind to the ends of my own choosing. Amen.
Amen to that, brother.
Amen.
Thank you very much to be there, gentlemen.
Very cool.
All right, Hugo. You make a great job again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are in your domain, you public speaker.
Yeah, that shit just happened because, oh, sorry about my friend.
You're good, you're good. So, for tonight, my friend, is perfect. Anthony, it was very good to have you here, and Matt too. So, hope you
Yeah,
see.
it was a good call.
Yeah, hope to see you Sunday. And let's see what's happened.
Amen.
All right.
Take care, boss.
Yep. See you tomorrow. Have a good break, Hugo, and go sleep tight. Make good.
Yes, sir.
Bye,
All right.
guys. Have a good night.
Take
Ciao,
care.
ciao, Matt, and thank you for your 5 year.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You start something big. All right.
Gonna be great.
Yeah. So never give up. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.